fire department, U.S. government, your president, they all are servant to you. I
Public
take that as
servants.
you basically working or doing the speaking for every individual of this country, meaning standing for the president. He is a great influence to the people of the world, and he speaks on the behalf of the United States. He represents us. So with that said, I feel like voting, when they ask for our vote, I want to start a movement of demanding what you want for our votes. I mean, like I stated before in our previous episode of Change, I was stating that demanding a vote meaning I need some more creative writing to TC Mission Speaks at gmail.com. Write some messages about your opinion, about my thoughts about a demand vote. And I just want to explain that and go into it a little bit more deeper of saying that from the top of my mind, not too much thinking into it, maybe a contract. When you ask for my vote, it means something more to me than a voice. I'm not going to just vote you in office on the standing of what you say, what you're going to do for me. I need something on paper. I need some type of obligation because my vote means a lot to me. I mean a lot to this world. I am an important figure in this world. That's why I stated for everybody to call each other kings and queens.
And in the United States, no one is required by law to vote in any local, state, or presidential election. According to the U.S. Constitution, voting is a right and a privilege. Many constitutional amendments have been ratified since the first election. However, none of them made voting mandatory for U.S. citizens. Are you a
Yes,
citizen,
ma'am.
King?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So that is your right if you do not
Yes,
want to
and
vote.
I do want to vote. But what I'm saying, I'm not going to what have gotten to a point to where like a Miss Queen of 101 years old had fear in her. She needed somebody to back her up when she was 80, when she was 70, or some organization or some type of movement should have been established for any young youth out here that is feared to vote. There is a lot more numbers than what they have pulled out of the voting count of what this recent running was. If everybody got out, that would be really historical. But there are reasons, and I understand those reasons. I'm just speaking of my opinions about what I think maybe might be the lackness of the effort of people knowing the history of voting, still not coming out to vote.
Understood why there are all kinds of opinions in this world, and no one opinion is right. Everyone is entitled to their own opinions, and who you are does not determine whether that opinion is right
Yes,
or
my
wrong.
queen. And what I say with the people that's trying to run for the office when they ask or come at you for your vote, I would say, what will you do for us? Because that's a lot of feel that I get when I'm in the communities. Why you don't want to go vote? Ain't nothing going to change. No matter who's running, Obama, Reagan, Bush, Clinton. In the black community, they feel like they are the last ones to be heard. And I feel like at this time, this is the movement time for us as a community or as a world movement in the States to be able to make yourself be heard. Not just by your voice, but by pen, by any means necessary. Your vote put these people in office from past 10 presidents, and when they get in office, what is the saying? They ain't did nothing for us. So that lacks them to vote. If they voted that previous election, when the new election comes, they ain't going to vote. That is what Transition to Change's mission is here to help change. I feel like with this historical numbers of people coming out to vote, it could have been a lot more. But like Queen Summer says, a lot of people might not feel like their opinions are being respected, or is it, or even a voice is not being heard,
or their needs are not being met, which is understandable in all the
but
people.
keep voting. Not to deter nobody from vote, because look at here, we just changed the historical president that was in office for 4 years.
And we have never in the history of the United States had an African American mixed race female as a vice president. That was that was almost, I'm going to say that was up there with Barack Obama when he became president.
Yes, my king. Yes.
That was a wonderful accomplishment. And I got to say congratulations again to Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, but most definitely Kamala. She set the stage. She set the tone for all African American women, strong, family oriented, lovers of life.
Yes.
She did awesome.
She has changed the dynamic.
Oh, and for the record, not to cut you off, King, but for the record, she walked out listening to Work It by Mary J. Blige. That's for the CNN commentator who does not know the difference between Beyonce and Mary J. Blige.
Yes, she did. And I congratulate her and her family, her and her husband, her and President Joe Biden, and his wife Jill. I mean, man, Queen Summers just hit a high note. That is remarkable historical event. That opened the doors in my mind to all women of color, any woman without color, anybody. Even President Donald Trump opened the door up for a lot of people to see. He wasn't a politic, but he opened up the doors to see Kanye West run for president. I mean, it's getting way bigger than I see it. And I see it from a small point, and that's a good thing from what I'm just saying. It's getting big, and it's expanding, which I never would think that would happen in my lifetime.
So maybe Kanye for president 2080.
Kanye put a big footprint. He put a good footprint. Hooray to President Donald Trump. And he shouldn't walk out with his head down. I mean, Donald Trump did some historical things. He said he did more than most presidents done for the African American community. I haven't done too much research on that, but I'll hold him to his word if I choose to do the research on it. I mean, every president does something. I feel like they all have a crisis. They always have some type of chaos going on in the economy, in healthcare.
They're going to come into the middle of something, and it's not going to be an easy job to fix.
Always, President Joe Biden just stated what he's running on, what we are running on, unity. It ain't no blue states, it ain't no red states.
It ain't no black and it ain't no white.
We all bleed the same. Red. Or we all are the same. We are humans reflecting off of each other. Thank y'all again for listening to Transition to Changes Mission Podcast Show. We really appreciate that. And we're going to move on to this next topic. Man, this violence is a must to talk about. I mean, we chose to make this series here to No Justice, No Peace to line up to a lot of things that's leading up to violence. I mean, I want to talk about some history of violence, maybe to get the understanding of violence. And look at this, voting in violence. That's what this episode is. And this episode hopefully can calm some people down, get them to embrace change with the new president, and don't lead to no type of violence like rumors of going around civil war or people preparing stuff. We are here to downsize and pray all that negativity energy out, and hopefully help these communities come together, because the numbers are going up in our African American communities or even your city. It's historical homicides coming up. It's a lot of anger going on. We got this virus going on. We got uncertainty going on. And Transition to Changes Mission finna play y'all some smooth jazz. Get you ready for this next topic. I'd like for y'all to go ahead and keep a memory of all this and write all the notes that you can write down. And soon, like we said, we're going to get these phone live podcasts going in motion. A lot more episodes coming up. All we need from you is to tune in, share us, subscribe us, and follow us. And we love y'all for the ones that have done that, the new listeners, and everything from the Transition to Changes Mission podcast show. We love you, and get ready to get into an exciting show. Stay
Violence
tuned.
and voting.
These my daddies make it hurt. These my daddies make it hurt.
Hi, and welcome back to Transitional Changes Mission podcast show. This is your host, Queen Summers.
And King Summers.
Recently, on Monday, Fox News, formerly the President Trump's favorite news channel, they cut away from the event, citing a lack of evidence. At Monday's news conference, the president's spokeswoman, and a Republican bigwig cited allegations of electoral corruption while urging reporters to help investigate the unverified claims. Fox News, formerly the President Trump's favorite news channel, cut away from the event, citing the lack of evidence. Results in last Tuesday's presidential election from the states of Georgia, Arizona, North Carolina, and Alaska are still outstanding. There was a chief, Lang Holland of Marshall, Arkansas. He advocated online that Democrats should be attacked and summarily executed. He resigned soon after his comments were made public. So the main cases of violence. Violence has many causes, including frustration, exposure to violent media, violence in the home or neighborhood, and a tendency to see other people's actions as hostile, even when they're not. Conventionally, violence is understood to be often driven by negative emotions, such